Hola y bienvenidos a GCSE Spanish Practice. My name is Marina and today we're going to work on a role play for the foundation tier. Role play is the first task that you will do in your speaking exam and you prepare for it. So it's 10 marks out of 50. I would say it's a good chunk, so you need to get this right. If you know how to do this, please skip forward to the preparation of the questions. Otherwise, stay with me and I'll explain how to do this task very, very briefly. Okay. Well, the role play, what is it about? You will be presented with a situation. You have instructions in English. It's usually you speaking to a Spanish speaking person. And then you have 5 bullet points saying, say this, say that. Okay. You have to follow what it says. And this is the way it works. You see the 5 sentences in English. You prepare sentences in Spanish based on what you see here, what you have to say. And then you take your preparation to the actual exam. Then the examiner will say, I am the Spanish person or the Spanish speaking person in this role play situation. And they will read questions to you from a script that they cannot change at all. Okay. And you just need to read what you prepared. Okay. So this task is not about extending your phrases. You just need to read what you said, and it's really, really, really short. It's between 1 minute, 1 minute 30 tops. Okay, so here we go. Let's do some practice. What we're gonna do, I'll show you the questions, I'll walk you through them, I'll show you my answers, I'll give you time to prepare for your answers. Okay, and then we'll practice the role play. Right, so we're given the situation. You're talking to your friend from Ecuador. And where you see a question mark, you have to prepare a question for your friend. Okay. Now, the first thing I say is as soon as you get in the exam room, sit down and write down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is because it doesn't matter what the teacher asks. If you know this is the first question, you just read what you wrote here. Okay. And so forth. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. Now, let's go through the questions and see what we have to do. There are 2 parts here, what you have to say and how it needs to be delivered. Okay, so you have to give one detail. For foundation, it's usually one detail, one opinion. Okay, so that's fine. If you give 2 details, what's going to happen? Nothing. You might get the second detail wrong. And therefore you will be taken 1 mark. Okay, so it's best to stick to this script. Now, say what your favorite place in your town is. Something like, my favorite place is the park. Okay, and I went for mi favorito es el parque. We must include a verb, okay? So es, it is the park. We could have simply said es el parque, and this way we get 2 marks, okay? But I just went with mi lugar favorito, my favorite place is the park, as in a fuller sentence for you to see what a right model is. Second one, say what your opinion on going to the library is. Something like, I like to go to the library, or I don't like to go to the library. Okay, one opinion. Me gusta ir. I could simply say me gusta ir, but I'm just gonna make a full sentence. Okay, I might not remember during my preparation time how to say the library. Okay, so I don't need to say it. And I added something here just in case, okay? I said do not add any detail, but sometimes to make it sound a bit more complex just in case, or to make sure that I added the verb. So, me gusta ir porque es interesante could be a good answer, okay? Just in case, I added this extra bit thinking, did I add a verb, a conjugated verb? Okay, so me gusta ir porque es interesante is a good answer. Me gusta ir a la biblioteca is also a good answer. But if in doubt, sometimes we can do these things, okay? Add a little bit extra detail if we are sure that the verb is conjugated. Next bit, question mark. It means I have to ask a question about museums in Ecuador. Not about anything I want, about museums in Ecuador. How do we say museum? And how do we say Ecuador? Well, it's the same Ecuador, okay? So how do we ask questions? We say things like, háblame de, okay? Every time we have to ask a question, it's really easy if we say, háblame de, o cómo son, o cómo es, o te gusta. In this case, we can say museums, los museos, and then in Ecuador, en Ecuador. So either option, háblame de los museos en Ecuador o cómo son los museos en Ecuador, both fine. Fourth, say what the weather is usually like in your town, give one detail. So we have to say something like, it is hot, it is cold. We can make it longer, but normally it is hot. So I went with, en mi ciudad hace buen tiempo. In my city, the weather's nice. The weather expressions in Spanish usually with hace, okay, not es. And then finally, 5, say what facilities are near to your house, one detail. So there is a supermarket, there is a station, there is a gym, okay? How to say there is? Hay un supermercado. And again, I use the verb here, and that should be more than enough, okay? Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and pop in your answers, okay, in the comment section for me to see what you would have said. Or you can, use this, my sentences that I'm showing on screen here for you as a guide, and you can do something similar. So for example, for number 1, instead of saying mi lugar favorito es el parque, you could say the cinema. So the highlighted bits you can change and you can replace with whatever you want. Or you can do something completely different from what I did and pop it in the comments for me to see and tell you if it's good or there's something that needs to be improved, okay? Right, so you can pause the video and come back because after that, we're going to do the role play. I will be asking you the questions, okay? All right, so hopefully you pause the video and you wrote down your sentences or you pop them in the comment section for me to see. Now we're going to practice. So I will read the questions and you will read your prepared answers. ¿Preparados? ¿Preparadas? Vale. Estás hablando con tu amiga de Ecuador. Yo soy tu amiga de Ecuador. ¿Cuál es tu lugar favorito en la ciudad? Muy interesante. ¿Y cuál es tu opinión sobre la biblioteca? Estoy de acuerdo. ¿Tienes una pregunta para mí? Son geniales. ¿Y qué tiempo hace normalmente en tu ciudad? Muy bien. ¿Y qué hay cerca de tu casa? Fantastical. So if you followed all the steps and you prepare this way, it is very likely, unless there were mispronunciations that obviously I can't hear from here, that you got 2 marks for each of your answers, and that will make a total of 10. Okay. Now, for revision purposes and for you to get into listening questions, what were the questions? So the first question was, ¿cuál es tu lugar favorito en tu ciudad? What's your favorite place in your city? 2. ¿Cuál es tu opinión sobre ir a la biblioteca? What's your opinion about going to the library? Number 3. You said, hopefully, háblame de los museos en Ecuador o cómo son los museos en Ecuador. My answer was, son geniales. They're great. Your teacher's going to keep it very short, okay? Número 4. ¿Qué tiempo hace normalmente en tu ciudad? What's the weather like in your city normally? Y número 5. ¿Qué hay cerca de tu casa? What is there near your house? ¿Ok? ¿Qué hay cerca de tu casa? Bueno, hope this is something that you understand now how to do. For more role plays, for more practice on listening with dictation or read aloud or photo cards, come back for more GCSE Spanish practice. Gracias, adiós.